Everybody, this is B from Kongzerus, along with Mrs. Kongzerus that just gave me a nice peck on the cheek. So happy Thursday, everybody. This is the Next Level. This is my weekly podcast show where we bring you next level things, guests, community members. But today was a big day in gaming. There was a lot of stuff that happened today. For folks that follow the home arcade space, Arcade1Up released and started talking about Fast and the Furious. So I definitely want to get to that. We'll talk about Fast and the Furious a little bit. But for folks that also follow the greater FGC fighting game community, there's been a big update or at least showcase for Street Fighter 6. So if you saw the thumbnail, I was following this announcement since last year. I was in the open beta as well, and they actually have a live demo that's available right now that you can download and play, and you can play the single player version of Street Fighter 6 right now, today, right now on your PS5 or PS4. So we're going to actually check that out. I'm really curious about that. I feel like it's one of the most exciting games I'm most interested in checking out from a modern cancer standpoint, but I do want to talk about Fast and Furious. One of the first things that I saw when it launched today, this morning at 6 a.m. Pacific. I didn't get to watch it because I was definitely sleeping. But one of the first videos when I was scrolling by, I saw my buddy Joel Gorski from Retro Lizard Arcade made a video, and he was already kind of doing some comparisons that I wanted to do. I really wanted to think about like what version of this game did they actually get onto this cabinet? This is actually one of the questions that we should be asking. They've skipped several generations of arcade technology hardware to be able to do the port of a 2004 and 2007 arcade racing game, but they still haven't given us many classic titles from the 90s. So how did they skip all these different games from Outrun to Ridge Racer, which is PS1, all the way up to Fast and Furious, which I've always been curious about this game. This is a hard game to emulate on a PC through Technoparrot. Personally, I've had issues trying to get this thing to run on a PC. So all that leads to, is it going to be great? Is it going to be the same arcade port? Are there going to be concessions? And somebody, aka Joel Gorski from Retro Lizard Arcade, made a fun video, and I encourage you to check it out. I'll leave a link in the description after this video is done. But I figure let's not just speculate. Let's bring him on. Let's talk to who I call the Wheelman. We have this arcade group, and we think Joel is our racing expert. So Joe Gorski, aka Retro Lizard, good to have you on the show, man.
Hey man, what's going on?
Good, good. All right. So for folks that don't know who you are, do your little quick intro so people can see and know who you are, man. Oh, your audio went away, unless it's mine. Is your audio still on? Your audio went dead. I don't know if I can hear you or not. Can you guys hear him in the chat? What's up, guys? Outrun the Neon Sun is here. Dan Z, if you can check your audio real quick and just check your settings. Just want to say hi to chat. FNF is all about family. That's right, right? Fast and Furious is all about that family. FNF seems to run pretty good with your built-in PC with Technoparrot. You just can't Star Wars Battlepod to run. Oh, that's interesting. So, I mean, I can get Battlepod to run pretty well on my build, but I think the controls weren't working that well on Fast and Furious. So I think that's the big issue with it. All right, you guys confirming that he's out. All right. So you watched his vids earlier, you know his stuff. All right, so you can't hear him. All right, never mind. He's gonna rejoin in a little bit. But he was doing some comparisons. I'll pull up his video because he's run the Technoparrot version of the game as well as the Tokyo Drift version, because we were kind of confused about the gameplay that they ran a little bit earlier. They were showing some images, and for anybody who's played the game, when you compare it to the original ROM or version of it, you can start picking out some things. He was like picking out engine sounds that sounded different, but the graphic errors and things. Somebody was mentioning when he saw the gameplay that it looked like it was running at a lower resolution. So my quick thoughts about, just what I foresee happening based off of what the limitations are that they had to do with Blitz and other kind of games that are actually harder to run, that we might see some reductions in some pieces of the game. What areas? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a true 100% port, but that's just my guess because I've not been able to get it running that well. And so we'll see. We'll see when it comes out in a couple of weeks. For people that are going to be getting it, let me know in the chat if you plan on getting it. I don't have any nostalgia for the actual arcade game. I do have a ton of nostalgia for the actual movie franchise, though. The movie franchise itself was something that I was really into when the movie first came out. The Eclipse, that Mitsubishi Eclipse that's on the cover of the game, that was one of my dream cars growing up because it was such a beautiful car at the beginning of the game or the movie. 2001 when that movie came out was right when I was in college, and I was really much into the hot import night scene. I was going to car shows. I had this 99 Honda Accord Coupe that I had a body kit on it. I swapped out my taillights to some Altezas. I had some nice Indiglo lighting on my dashboard. I put a little sticker that said, VTEC engine, even though my engine did not actually have any extra juice to it. It was an all show, no go car. I love that car. I thought I could go fast, but I couldn't. So I have a nostalgia for that movie and the next couple of movies that came out, like the import scene for that movie, as well as the second movie, the beginning race with the Skyline. Those two cars were my favorite. The Eclipse, the Skyline, the Supra, the GTX 7, or the RX 7. Those are some of my favorite cars. All right, let's get enough nostalgia about Fast and Furious. Let's bring back Retro Lizard. Are you back?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I had a
All right,
microphone issue. I'm sorry.
all good. I didn't have anime all over the windows. Did you ever like do up your car at all back in the day? Was that it? Were you ever into
I did.
modifying your car?
I did. I liked classic cars, so I used to
Okay.
have a Cutlass, an '84 Cutlass Supreme, baby blue, with 5-star
Oh,
mags on it. I chromed it out. I was going to drop
nice.
an engine in it, but then it got rear-ended for behind, and it bent the frame, and that
Yeah.
was it. That was done. But yeah, I played around with some cars a little bit. I know how to throw a
So you
wrench.
were like the Vin Diesel side doing the muscle cars, and then like we'd be racing. Like I'd be like Paul Walker, would be like, yo, I almost had you, bro, and you'd be like, and be like, I look fast, but you can go fast.
You owe me a
Uh,
10-second car.
yeah, I was so dumb. I used to pull up next to people thinking that our car could actually go fast, could it? But it was terrible. Like I would get beat up by Camrys. It was even a V4. I'm like very embarrassed. It was a V4 Honda Accord Coupe, had like 150 horsepower, but it was a fun car.
Those little
Uh,
cars are fast.
yeah, yeah. I
Just in
mean, they're light.
start, they're
Yeah.
zippy.
Oh my goodness. Paul says he has 30 something cars. All right. So we have some car enthusiasts. All right. So we're back. We're talking about the arcade version of Fast and the Furious. Again, I don't have a ton of nostalgia. I don't know this game that much because I want to go back to the first point that I made, that I felt like this was a hard game to get running, and you put racing builds on your cabinet. So tell us a little bit about the game from your standpoint. Like, what do you know of the game from the Technoparrot version?
I agree with you. It's a really hard game to emulate. I've had
Mhm.
lots of issues with it. The only one that I can consistently get to emulate is the original Fast and Furious. Drift,
Mhm.
supercars, super bikes. I can
Mhm.
never get them to transfer over correctly, so I actually took them off my builds
Mhm.
because of that.
Mhm.
But so the only good one that plays is the Fast and Furious, but the controls on it are terrible on
Yeah.
Technoparrot. You're
Mhm.
all over the place. It's like the car just doesn't know how
You
to
can't
center.
you can't tweak it to like
Yeah.
actually like drive correctly with it. And so even though it runs, yeah, it's not a smooth playing experience. And there's not enough, for those that don't know what Technoparrot is, they're running kind of PC ports in a user interface, but there's very limited things in their actual ports from the arcade that you're running on the PC side of things. So you haven't seen any improvement. I know Technoparrot gods have been like improving certain things, but that game from the time you got it running has never improved in terms of controls.
No, never. It's never improved at all. The past 2 years that I've been trying
Mhm.
to play that game,
Mhm.
it has never improved at all.
Yeah, so it's just one of those like, hey, it's nice to have on a build, but it's not one you'd recommend like playing. You'd be like, go play Outrun, 2, or play Daytona Championship or something like that, right?
I always recommend Outrun 2. I love that
Uh,
game, man.
yeah,
That's
that
what we need, a port of that game into an Arcade1Up. That's what we
that
need.
would be amazing. It still is like probably like my favorite racing game. It's just so good, so good. All right, but okay. So then, what do you think then? If we know, you may have messed with PCs and racing builds. Like you have over 100 racing games. How many racing games do you have on your racing build that you run?
197.
197 racing games. This man has played. You've played every single one of them to make sure they run well, right?
I've played them to make sure that they work.
That at least work, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
You
You
can play
gotta,
it with the wheel and stuff and to make sure that the gas works and you can turn them.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you have a lot of experience playing these games. So how confident are you that Arcade1Up can actually pull this off? Do you think, based on our experiences of emulation, that they get the port? they can make it happen. Like, are you confident that it's going to be a good experience for the
I'm
version
I'm I'm
they
on the
have?
fence. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence because they haven't made a bad racer. And
Mm-hmm.
the Ridge Racer arcade, the wheel was improved over the Outrun arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And the gameplay on that was really well. The
Mm-hmm.
pedals are terrible, but the actual wheel and steering and gameplay is really well. I like to think that they knew about the steering issue with Technoparent. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
come on, they're not dumb. They know what Technoparent is, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like to think that they knew about the steering issue and how the gameplay was on that one, and that they've addressed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that they would put out a game to where the controls are going to be terrible and all over the place. Well, just to take that back, I'm not saying that they wouldn't, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that they would put out a racing game that would be you can't control the cars at all.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm on the fence. I think I'm more like a 70-40, 70% that it's going to be pretty decent, 40% that it might be bad.
70 and 40 don't equal 100, right?
70-30. Sorry. Math ain't my thing, man. I
This
build
guy
arcade.
makes arcades back there. He does not do math. It's like
Meant to say 60-40.
60-40. All right, 60 column. Hey, but I did see a post though. You're so curious. Did you pre-order this cabinet?
I pre-ordered it. Yeah, I
Why
did.
did you pre-order this cabinet? I mean, you build race. Is it just for science? Like, are you
Just for
just
science. That's
so
it. I'm gonna
curious?
get it. I'm gonna do an actual review on it, and it's gonna be an
Uh-huh.
honest review.
Yeah.
And I want to play around with that shifter. It's the first four-way
Mm-hmm.
shifter that they're putting out. So I
Yeah.
want to play around with that and check it out. I want to know if it's a micro switch or if it's some kind of magnet, because
Mm-hmm.
in the video, John D mentioned something about the blitz controls and that shifter.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of intrigued me. And then I want to look at the.
Oh, okay. Did he
I
say
want to
that?
look at.
Okay, I didn't catch that. Mhm.
I want to look at the computer board too. I'm going to take that off and take a look at it. Now, I'm not a
Mhm.
computer whiz, but I
Mhm.
want to see if it looks like the Ridge Racer board, because I have the Ridge Racer board.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So if you heard that, because I didn't catch that portion of it, he said the Blitz joystick is what's going to be in the shifter.
I think he
Yeah.
mentioned that he said he mentioned blitz
Mhm.
controls, and then he started talking about the shifter right
Okay.
away with that in the same sentence. So I don't
Okay.
exactly remember
So
the
what that
exact words he
means
said,
then, so the Blitz controller was using a 49-way joystick.
but it was
So
magnetic.
it uses a Hall sensor,
Yeah,
yes. So it's magnetic, but since it's in the four directions, it's I can absolutely see having a joystick just being like it's just a joystick and you go up, left, right, down, right? It's not
right.
going to have the H gate for you to be like feel like you're going to stay in that location, but you can move it up, down, left, right. So that would be interesting.
It would
Maybe
be.
there is a locking mechanism they'd have to do, but if the technology is there, as long as it's like moving into that section of the grid, it would work.
There
So
definitely has to be some kind of locking mechanism, because
mhm,
the Cruising USA, it looks like a Cruising USA shifter, and that
mhm,
shifter was a four-way micro switch. So there
mhm,
was a micro switch for each one of those gears that
mhm.
you would just hit, and then
Yeah,
it would stay in that position. So they would have to figure out how to do that, which may
yeah.
be where the magnet comes in. Maybe the magnet is what's
I
holding it
guess
in
holds it
place.
in that position.
Yeah,
What did we see pictures of it where like the shifter just stays in one of the four positions? Is
I
it
don't think they showed that. I don't think they
yeah?
showed it shifting at
We can
all. They
maybe
just
go take
showed the
a
shifter.
yeah, maybe we can take a look at that and see what it looks like. But yeah, that would be interesting. So that's new technology. Obviously the pedals and the wheels look pretty much the same. So probably have some rumble feature there. It'll run pretty decently. But do you think what about FPS? Do you think they're gonna like have to drop resolution? I know that they're gonna upscale to 960p. Like, do you think they're gonna be running this full speed?
He said in the video that it's going to be running 30 FPS.
Hmm.
So, I mean, we'll probably get 28, 29 out of it, because I don't
Hmm.
think any Arcade1Up has ever run 60 frames per second.
Yeah, so it's running a little bit. All right, so Paul says, yeah, in the video, there's live action of it holding it into that section. So, yeah, that's good to know. So I am also very intrigued in terms of new technology like that and seeing how it could be somewhat eventually modded. The other thing about the Hall effect sensors, though, for the Blitz joystick, that has not been, I guess, hacked to be able to repurpose that 49-way stick technology into something else. So if
Right.
it's not a micro switch and it's not just a simple click into an area, um, yeah, I feel like that's more expensive to do the Hall effect than to just do a micro switch in four areas. But whatever, I guess the mechanism, you'd have to redesign something from that. So
And that cab is what, $100 more than Blitz was? Blitz was
nope, I think
$499.
no, Blitz was $599 when it first came out,
Was
so it's
it?
the
Okay.
exact same price. Yeah.
So
So
it's the
Blitz
same
at
price.
so Blitz at $599 with the 4 controllers that were 49 way sticks, I thought was a pretty interesting deal because a real 49 way joystick is pretty expensive on its own, and they were using similar technology for that. So it was cool if you enjoy the fact that hey, it was kind of unique controls. But yeah, it's a new shifter. But if you were modding it, say with like a buy stuff kit or like, I don't know how much people would mod this. I think it would be hard to repurpose the shifter. You're gonna mod it. You're gonna immediately try to jump in.
Not right away. I'm going to see what
Yeah.
Buy Stuff's going to do because Buy Stuff ordered one too. So I want to see. I'm going to wait and see what they're going to do, if they're going to put out an encoder for it or not.
Yeah.
All they would have to do, if it's the same controls as the Ridge Racer and the Outrun, all they would have to do is figure out how the shifter works, and then they would make their new board that way.
Yeah. That would be interesting because if they unlock being able to use the shifter for the Hall effect, then they can actually do it for Blitz. And not too many people. I mean, I don't know that many people that would want to mod Blitz, but that joystick can't be used at the moment. So there it is. I do think I remember Team Encoder folks saying that they could release something for it, but it would take a lot of work. I remember asking Mr. Encoder originally about it, but it's a tough sell. But would you try to buy stuff, or would you go like full PC mod? Is that what are your plans when you get it?
I would use their encoder and just do a full PC mod like I always do. Yeah. So that's
Speak of the
what I do with the
devil.
Ridge Racer and whatnot. There they are.
There they are. The shifter is gonna be a tricky part for sure. But if anybody can do it, right?
It's gonna be them.
The buy stuff guys. They
Those
are working
dudes'
on
brains are out here.
yeah. And then when the solution doesn't exist, they have the means to create it.
I know.
Like, right? Like you and me can like dream up or like do things, and they're like, oh, a board doesn't exist for that. Let's just make it. Like, that's freaking awesome. I really like that. So kudos to you. I love the modding community because they really kind of keep ideas and innovation moving forward with what you can do with these cabinets. But what do you think about the linkable technology? So that's brand new.
I think that's cool. So I'm really curious how that's going to work. If you're going to need the actual network for it and be on Wi-Fi plus it plugged in, or if you can stay off of Wi-Fi and just direct connect the two of them together. Because, and if you link Fast and Furious and an arcade racer with Technoparrot, you need that IP address to forward it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how that's going to work. So I didn't buy two of them. I probably should have, but I don't want to blow.
Don't let curiosity let the second one come down on sale first if you're that curious about it.
Right.
But that is a feature that if it works well, is a game changer for future cabs that can link. Right, the Time Crisis cabinets. Right, what if you do get two of them and you can link them for a 2-player version of that game, or other future titles like a Daytona? So now any future racing cabinet has linkable technology. I think I remember hearing them say it was either online local play or Ethernet local play. So I think to your point, that's how linked cabs work. They need to get onto the same router IP address and then using the same kind of ports to be able to talk to each other. So it sounds like it's very similar to the linkable technology that you have. So again, I think we missed your intro, but more people are here. Go back to saying who you are, and let me pull up the Retro Lizard website because you offer some racing builds. Tell us about kind of your setups because you have cabs that can link to each other, right?
I do. I have linked racing cabs. I can link the Ridge Racers. I can link my regular cabs. So I'm Retro Lizard, guys. I own Retro Lizard custom arcades. I build custom arcades. I modify Arcade1Ups, do racers, light guns, 2 players, 4 players. I have a vertical coming out. I'm working on a flight only using the Buy Stuff cab. My racers are the Buy Stuff cabs with my build inside it. Love those dudes. Big shout out to them for letting me even do that with their stuff. I do light gun arcades. I have mid-size like B has, except it has a 22-inch monitor instead of that 24. His is badass, by the way.
Thank you.
And then I got the 32, and I use the game room solution cabinets for my arcades because I don't have a CNC machine yet. Hopefully, in a couple of years, I'll get big enough to where I can get commercial property and get a CNC machine. But these are the racing arcades that B has up. You have the regular single racing arcade, and if you hit the drop down B, there's a regular 1080p version, which is the upgraded, and then there is a 4K version. So you can run these in 4K or you can run these in 1080p. And then I have the linked racing builds, which is the same thing. You can run it in 1080p, or you can run that also in 4K. When you're buying a linked racer, though, you have to buy 2 cabinets, and it's running 2 computers. So that's where the price goes, and that's why it gets a little pricey there, because you're literally buying 2 arcades. The plus side is, though, my shipper does not charge me double for shipping 2 arcades at once. It's the same price. So if I wanted to ship B 2 of those, or 2 linked racing arcades, it'd be like $650 on a freight, which ain't
So yeah,
bad.
these are full size, the Buy Stuff store pretty much kit that is already built, linked, put together, turnkey solution. So
Plug and play.
again, plug and play, shipped directly to you all in one piece. Like, so you've worked on several of these. I've seen them go out. And are these all the different artwork offerings that Buy Stuff does, or is
Yeah,
this stuff? Yeah. Okay.
I think that's almost all of them. I don't have what do you call it? I don't have the what is it called? Crazy Taxi. I didn't put the Crazy Taxi option on there, and they also have a Star Wars and a Afterburner option, which that'll get added to when I do the flight only. The flight only will be the same exact cabinet with flying graphics on it, and then a flying only build on the inside.
And so you've settled on the Thrustmaster wheel, it looks like.
I
Is
have.
that kind of your go-to?
That's my go-to.
Is it just
Yeah.
because it's X input and can like easily map to everything?
Well, yeah, it's a direct input that I convert over to an X input using X
Okay.
output. So it's running a program in the background to convert it over to an Xbox controller. But that's where I put it at. The price is there. I've been using the Thrustmaster T128, which I actually think is better than the TMX. The force feedback on it seems stronger and more reactive.
Yeah.
So I've been using that one. Plus the TMX is I guess being phased out by Thrustmaster, and the T128 is the replacement.
Yeah.
So
you're using a Logitech shifter though. So I mean, they don't make a fun Thrustmaster shifter that works.
Well, the Thrustmaster shifter is $200, and the Logitech shifter is $60 plus a $30 adapter. So $100 difference there.
All right. Parts. All right. So you're getting some behind the scenes. Again, if you want some link stuff. Okay. So again, the Buy Stuff folks also make a kit for Ridge Racer and Outrun, and you can link those boxes together. And essentially, like for folks that don't know what linked cabs actually means, can you explain that process for, what it is? Do you think there's going to be another separate hardware box for them to link them together, or is it going to be PCB to PCB? Like, what do you think?
It sounded like John D said he was going to do PCB to PCB. But if you're doing it as a homebrew or as a home arcade custom build, you have to use a Ethernet router that's offline. Can't be online. It has to be directly connected in there. And player 1 is on the left, player 2 is on the right. The cabs go from left to right for players when you're setting them up. So in order to link them up, you need an offline router to do that, and it has to be Ethernet connected.
Exactly.
And you need two PCs. But Buy Stuff is using the Android boxes. And I believe you only need one Android box for that with a router, and then they're able to link it up that way. I've never actually used their product, but I know that their product is a little bit more simplified because it's the Android box.
Correct. But they are still using an external router that's branded Buy Stuff. I actually have it right here.
Gotta love their stickers, right?
Yeah, they have their stickers. I love it. I have their
stickers. I got pens.
Yeah, so I have plans to check it out. But this is what they're using. They're using simply a router. This is how you link cabinets together. It's actually just a simple router that's not connected to the internet, and it's going to use Ethernet ports to connect to each other. And then you have to do some configurations. They've already done this. This is a TP-Link router that you plug in, and they have it all pre-configured to work with their gaming boxes. So it's possible to do on your own. I still find it a little bit of a convoluted process. So for folks like you, the Buy Stuff folks, and now Arcade1Up are making linking cabs almost plug and play. That is a really big selling feature for this cabinet. And one of the reasons why, maybe it's going to be harder to mod something like this, because then you lose that feature. Like, don't you want to test it out before you mod it? Or like that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I'm probably gonna have it for a little while before I mod it, and that's if I mod it too.
Yeah. Are you gonna get any local folks to try to link up, or?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe we'll see.
So I think my kids are gonna have more fun with it than anything. My my daughter, my 4-year-old, really loves the Ridge Racer.
Mhm.
She loved it so much she broke the pedal within the first 20 minutes of using it because she was slamming down on the gas pedal to trying to get it
Mhm.
to go. So I think she's going to really like the Fast and Furious cabinet too.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that
that Ridge Racer is the only Arcade1Up cabinet I own. There's no other Arcade1Up cabinets in my house anymore.
Oh, really? You got them all rid of them all. You're
They're all
done.
gone.
All
Look what
gone.
I got behind me. They're all gone.
I know you moved on to freaking full size like console display thingies. Like you've really like you've swerved a little bit from the first time I've met you. So
That was where when I started collecting, I was a game collector, not an arcade collector. And I
mhm.
started with consoles and kiosks, and I'm like, oh, my arcades are just collecting dust because I don't get to play them. So I sold them all, and then I went back to collecting the kiosks.
Yeah,
Except for I have my pinball and I have my racer in the background too. Those are
yeah,
the only
yeah,
actual arcades that I own.
yeah. Nice. So is the Ridge Racer modded already too? You
It
have that one?
was. It's in pieces right now, but it was
Okay.
modded because I modded it to test out the encoder with the buy stuff guys, and it worked
Hmm.
great.
Hmm.
So I still have it. It's just in pieces.
See, and then you will be getting Fast and Furious. So
Yeah.
am I gonna get it? Do you recommend getting it at all yet? Like, do you think
I think you should.
so?
I think you should because you have all those behind you, and you have other
You're
racers that you've had, but you
you're
modified.
FOMOing me, man. You're FOMOing me. I did
I
not
don't.
place the order for it. I think I'm gonna wait. I don't think I'm gonna be on the pre-order side of things. If
Yeah,
anything, I have the patience enough to let you do a really great review in it. And I know the buy stuff folks are gonna tinker in a little bit later.
I don't
I'm
think you should mod it.
curious. What's that?
I don't think you should mod it. If
You
you
don't think
get
Jim?
it, I think you should leave it stock because we have such a pain in the ass time emulating it.
This is true, yeah, and so that's
Yeah,
the thing too, like, I don't see myself modding it either way down the line. I don't think I would get 2 to link up, like, my dream originally I feel like here's my racing cabinet scenario, because first, I only had 1 cabinet that could do racers, Star Wars, and then
right.
I was like, "Oh, then I could now that I have that as my racing cabinet, I modded Outrun, and I can have my Star Wars and my Outrun, I'm just gonna link those 2 together." And then I was like, "Oh, I want my Star Wars to go back to just Star Wars stuff." Oh, and then I built the Star Wars or the Ridge Racer um, Outrun cabinets together. And
And
then
then
I
you
was like,
sold
no,
it.
I'm gonna do a full racing kit from Buy Stuff. So I still don't know what I want from a racing cabinet in your home arcade setup. It just takes up so much space to have multiple cabinets. So do you have linked stuff at your house? Like, what are you doing? You just have the one?
I just got the one. Yeah. So
It's
right
too
now I
many.
just got the one because I'm the only one that plays it. I mean, my daughter tries to play it, but she has a
Yeah.
hard time reaching the pedals.
I feel like I
So
like the idea of it more than the actual practicality of it. I think a home
that's
arcade, linked arcades is a very, very rare. Well, it's a cool feature. I just
right.
like, yeah, like having more than one of the same cabinet. That's rough.
It's fun to have, and the idea is there, but are you
Mhm.
actually going to play it? Is the thing,
Yeah.
or is it going to
Yeah.
sit there
Yeah.
and collect dust and be a display piece? You know,
Hmm.
it's an
Hmm.
expensive display piece if you're just doing that. But if you're
Hmm.
actually racing with it and you're actually playing it, you know,
Hmm.
it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
But that's why I think that if you get the Fast and Furious cab down the road in a few months, you know, obviously that price is going to drop like they always do.
Hmm.
I don't think that one. I really don't think it should be modded, just because we have such a hard time emulating that game with
All
those
right.
controls.
So what I need is Outrun the Neon Sun to get one. And then I'll get one on sale later because he literally lives down the street from me. And then we can test link them up. I'm curious who's going to be the first to actually have 2 cabinets to show us some linked gameplay, because they didn't show any demo linked gameplay right now. And that's an interesting feature to see.
I
If
wonder how the actual online gameplay would be on it to race against other people. You know, are
Yeah.
we going to have the similar issues we've had in the past,
Hmm.
or is it going to be pretty smooth and pretty good? Pretty good. I've never played Ridge Racer online, so I don't know how that one is.
Hmm.
But if anybody in the comments could comment if they played it online, that would be fantastic. But I don't
Yeah.
know if it's smooth or not. I don't know if we're going to have lag. I'm curious how that would work because I
Yeah.
might play that game online.
It's not online against other people like around the world though. It's just online local. It's just
The
Wi-Fi
live,
leaderboards. What's that? Yeah.
the live,
Are you talking about the current Fast and Furious cap?
yeah, it's going to have the live feature.
It is, but it's only leaderboards. It's like Ridge Racer leaderboards for Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is only for local connection. There's not going to be like linked.
Really?
I can't race you. It's
Really?
like yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
What's the point of having Wi-Fi on it then?
Yeah, it's just for
So I didn't
updates.
know that. I really didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought you
it's
could
for
play
future.
online against other people.
No, it's just for future-proof updating, right? And then
My
for
heart sank a little
leaderboards,
bit.
just like Ridge Racer. So it's not going to be Wi-Fi online play. It's like if it's local, you have multiple cabs, you can
Right,
link them through Wi-Fi because you're on the same network, right?
right.
So that's like that same concept. So I was surprised that they had two ways to link up cabinets. They said you can do local online, or you could do the linked ones, but
You know, I
Wi-Fi
could
is almost pointless on this one.
if you have the same ROM that I have,
Mhm,
that we could play against each other on like PSP games
mhm,
and possibly even Techno Parrot these days.
mhm.
Well, I don't know if you can do Techno Parrot, but at least you can do PSP. You can do Flycast Dojo. So like Crazy Taxi or like 18 Wheeler, you can play against each other. You would
Mhm.
just need my IP address. If I was the host, that you would need my IP address for the computer, and then we would be able to link up. It would be it's a manual thing. Like we can
Yeah,
play Mario Kart 8 against each other on Yuzu. It's just you need my IP address with a manual thing. So it's a
got
little
it.
disappointing.
You're like, "It can be done. It can be
I could
done. Why not?"
finally race B.
Yeah. No, no,
No.
no, not quite, unfortunately, doesn't quite work out that way. I would have liked to have seen it, but, it's baby steps. Maybe it's the next wave of what they do. But, just the fact that they're linking two separate cabinets together, like, that technology intrigues me. The shifter technology, which I kinda know what it is, right? If it's the 49-way joystick, that intrigues me. But yeah, Joel Gorski, ladies and gentlemen, Retro Lizard Arcades. Check out his channel. He made a quick 15-minute video kind of comparing some of the gameplay of what he knows from the cabinet itself to what we have. He's going to get a version of it. I'm really curious to check out your review of the cabinet, man. So cool. Anything else you want to say to the folks about racing, things you got going on?
No, not really.
You good? All right. So I'm going
I'm
to
good.
transition to kind of my next topic. Are you a Street Fighter 6 fan at all?
No.
No, you don't know anything about fighting games? No?
I'm a little bit
Anything?
about Mortal Kombat, the old school one, but I never really got into the fighting games. I was always a side
Ah.
scroller.
Okay. But I mean, like Street Fighter 6, man, does this not look cool?
I mean, it does look
No?
cool as hell. Don't get me wrong. It looks
Yeah?
really cool. Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can move stuff around a little bit. No, this one this way. All right. We'll just do this. Okay. All right. So Street Fighter 6 released a demo today. And I think I'm in the wrong demo. I think this is the wrong one. Whoops. So they did a showcase. Oh, here it is. Here's the demo. The cool thing about it, traditional Street Fighter is you're playing against somebody and it's just a pure fighting game, right? This is one of the first Street Fighters where they've added various game modes, and there's an actual full-on world tour single player story mode that looks super legit. Like you can create your own character, you go through the different phases. It's like RPG elements of leveling up, talking to people in the Street Fighter universe, using characters from all the different games. So there's War Tour, which is this game. There's Battle Hub, which is a version where you can play in this casual arena, and then you can actually fight against each other, like arcade mode, like traditional arcade mode that you can do.
And you can make
So
your own character in this one?
yeah, so I mean, this is the demo. It
Ooh.
literally just got released today from their show. So if you check out Capcom, they did a showcase a couple hours ago, and the big reveal was just more information about War Tour mode. So for casual folks that are interested in Street Fighter, I think this is a really awesome way to introduce the game to a new generation of folks, or even folks that may not have gotten into it. Like, I feel like I'm rediscovering a love for games now that I've gotten into arcades and checking out stuff. So like old classic games, there's this period where I didn't care about all the Street Fighter releases, but now that I've been following stuff, I'm finally like hyped about a new game for a while. So, I mean, this is it. This is gonna be my jam. So,
I
what do you
kind of
think?
feel that this might bring me back into it too. The world tour thing is definitely intriguing me. Kind of
Yeah,
similar to
because then
what
you don't
Mortal
have to
Kombat
fight
did.
against like other people and feel like you're gonna get like whooped on, right? You can enjoy the game from like a single player
Yeah.
standpoint, and yeah. So, all right, there it is. It's going right now. It's going. And so, oh my goodness. All right, it's
I mean,
gone.
I
So
haven't really played a Street Fighter since the Sega Genesis version of it.
all right. So
So,
and here's the fun thing too. So from a controller standpoint, yes, you can still play with your single player joy or like a regular joystick, but they've updated to something called modern controls where you can do specials like you normally would, but there's one button to do special moves. Your triangle button on your PlayStation controller, you do a direction plus the special move button, and you'll do like Hadoukens and Shoryukens and things. So it
really,
feels cheesy at first, but I'm kind of at an age where if I'm just gonna play casually, I'm okay with modern controls. And so but you lose out on some of the potential combo damages later on. So that's the big change. So it makes it easier for newer people to get into the game too.
But that's going to introduce the new kids to that game with that special modern control. Because you know, the kids that are 10 years old, 11 years old, they don't know how to do a Hadouken. You know, and if they just hit triangle in the direction and do a Hadouken, that might impress them.
Yeah. All right. So here it is. I just want to be able to like create my character. So that Luke is one of the characters that was introduced in Street Fighter V. So during the World Tour mode, you pretty much start to connect with new characters. And then in this first section, this is where you like create your avatar. So you can create yourself. You can be male, you can be female, or you can be human. Is that what it is? Oh, you can identify. So like that's a male stance. This is a female stance. I look really funny right there. Okay.
That's a human stance.
I know. It's interesting. Okay, back. Body type. Oh yeah. All right. I want to be. What if it's just I'm human, I'm female? But that's so weird. Okay. There's so many options, right?
That female's got some hips.
I know. Does that look like me?
Oh yeah, but your hair slicked back a little bit better. Go back to the guy with the red eyes.
What's that?
Go back to the guy with the red eyes.
Oh, right here. Look at that.
Yeah, that's you. There it is.
Right here? This dude?
Yeah, right there.
All right, let's do it. All right, that one's just going to be...
Looks like the bad guy from Bloodsport.
All right, let's do Kong. All right, let's just get into here. Kong.
Wait, is that Bobby Vu with one eye?
And the tattoos look like it, right?
Right.
All right, there it is. All right, in this demo, you cannot change your avatar. You could probably spend just hours working on your avatar, however you want to do it. But all right.
Yeah, like WWE.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's just get into it. I want to just get into the World Tour mode, man. Go. Is there a skip? Oh, skip. No. I want to skip it all. All right, there it is. Play battle tutorial. Approach Luke. Oh, everything's just like...
Is it D-pad or is it analog?
Jump over Luke. I'm using... It's the analog right now, so I think you can do that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I want to just get into the world and like run around stuff. This is the first time that they've actually done this, where they allow you to do this. Can I exit out of this? 1, 2, 3. 1.
What if you hit start?
I am. Oh man. All right, hit him 3 more times. All right, let's just go through the quick tutorial. Bump. 1, 2, 3.
This is cool though that they're teaching you how to play the game and fight too. They're going to probably teach you some special moves, obviously some special attacks. This is cool.
So yeah, this is that special move I'm talking about. If I just press triangle, I automatically do a special move. So I press forward and triangle, and I'm already doing like a Shoryuken. So I mean, that's pretty interesting. So throwing tutorial is you press the 2 buttons together, square and X at the same time, or modern control schemes, I can just press L2. Boom.
Sounds like a cheat that everybody's wanted for a long time.
What's that?
Sounds like a cheat that everybody wanted for a long time.
I was playing the beta mode where there was actually people playing modern versus regular controls, and you can tell if somebody's using the modern controls or not. So yeah. All right, let's skip this. Skip. I just want to walk around and see the world. This is like the first time we've been able to like see what's going on. No. All right. Now I'm fighting. Oh, and so this character right here in the game is supposed to be like Gary from Pokemon. He's like your rival.
Did you see Gary from Pokemon?
Yeah. He's like the guy that while you train, he's kind of training with you and being like your rival. So they have a whole on story mode with all your peoples. All right. Boom.
What's that?
And there's this whole new like graffiti style of artwork that they're using too, which is kind of cool. All right.
Well, that's kind of like the X-ray from Mortal Kombat, but it's graffiti.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. I just want to see the world. Let me walk around. Yeah. But this gets released on June 2nd. Totally so hyped. This is one of the few games I'm probably going to actually pre-order. We'll see. All right, Metro City is the same city from Final Fight. So that was Hager. Yeah.
What have you been playing on your PS5 besides this?
What was that?
What have you been playing on your PS5 besides this? You play God of
Well,
War? Did you
that's a
play
good
Modern
question.
Warfare?
I've not really touched my PS5 for much else, honestly. I have what other games do I have on it? I played like the new Spider-Man game when it first came out. And that was like one of the first games I had on it that I played. But other than that, yeah, mostly retro gaming for me. Not done much. That's it. Do you have a PS5?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I've actually been in the evenings, like 10 o'clock, like I take 2 hours and I've been playing. So I had
Mm-hmm.
such a backlog of modern games to play that I'm like, I need to decompress somehow, when I'm done working.
All
So
right.
yeah, I've been playing
This
God. I
is
just
it.
finished up God of War and I'm playing Fallen Order right now so I can play the new one.
All
Look at
right.
this. This is just a completely open world, huh?
Yeah, this is the first time that I'm checking out. Let's get you started with submissions. From here on, I'll be sending you text messages. Check here that pop out. Here's submissions. So it's like almost Grand Theft Auto meets Street Fighter. New kid
Wow.
on the block. Welcome to the streets. Go talk to Alice. She'll show you the ropes. All right, let's go talk to Alice. I just want to explore. Oh, there she is.
They're trying to modernize Street Fighter is what they're trying to
Yeah,
do. It
and
looks
you can
like
like
they're going to
walk up to people.
succeed.
Yeah, I think this is cool.
Yeah.
All right, finally, I've been able to walk around, identify a mission with the barred mark. Yes, now I can just walk up to people and just like beat them up. I think.
And
What's
they're
up?
on levels.
Level
Notice you
one.
got
I will
level 1. A couple
oh,
people in there were level 5s.
try a conversation. Try conversing with them, and press the X button.
What's up, motherfucker?
Yeah, let's just beat somebody up. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? I think these are all people. There's some remedy. All right, there's somebody involved who gone to full carnivore. Splash in France. Those are favorite thing too. Are you approaching them or you want to talk to? All right, no, I don't want to do that. Okay. I'm just seeing if I can like walk up to somebody and like try to beat them up.
Can you swing?
Unfortunately, no, you can't do like any special moves. Like you can't like beat up and punch things, kind of like other stuff. That's what I want to do. I just want to walk up to somebody and like punch them. I guess it's not like straight GTA where you can just like mess with people, right?
Right. You
Oh,
can't kick things around.
yeah, and
Can't go all John Wick on them.
yeah, and it went away back and saying, no, you can't leave this space right now. You got to go back and talk to people.
Maybe you need a level 1
I know.
because you're level 1. Maybe you got to find a level 1 guy.
All right, let's just do the mission real quick. All right, we'll do this and then we'll kind of end the stream. I just wanted to get in here and show a case of demo. Why are you there?
This
I'm
is cool.
Alice. Right there. Seriously, come on. I'll probably spend more time actually looking at this later on. That's this. Are we fighting? Fight. Land 10 hits with assisted combos. R2 when attacking, land an attack with R2 and punch, and you can do combos. All right. Yeah, so in order to combo, oh, I see what it is. When you hold down R2 and you're pressing the buttons, then it actually combos into each other.
Wow, that's cool.
So you can kind of just combo easier.
So it really modernized it.
Yeah, it's just literally one button combos.
Hmm.
One button combos, one button specials. Makes it slightly easier to play. I'm trying to remember the beta that came out in December, like how easy or hard it was to play. But it makes it more fun. I think it levels the playing field a little bit more for folks. So press square to initiate a battle. Start fighting someone as strong as you. All right, now I can start walking up and beating up people. All right, who are we gonna fight? Gonna fight her. Let's beat up on somebody who looks unsuspecting. Let's beat up the mime.
The mime.
Yeah. Yes.
Careful, he's a level
Yes.
7.
Oh yes, I can beat up the mime. If people are watching, yes. I just
Man, he's
beating
not
up the
even getting a
mime.
hit on you.
Level 7, take that.
Oh.
Get here, get here. He's like running away.
Victor in the chat says Street Fighter turned into Smash Bros. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's essentially it's very similar in terms of like that one button special. The benefits of not using the one button special and it's called classic controls is that you do have a little bit more control over like the buttons and you're comboing. So advanced people will still benefit from the extra hits you get. But for me, I think I'm probably gonna just stick with modern controls. I'm kind of too lazy to get to it. Although the professional fighters, there's a for the first time ever the Capcom Pro Tour. There's $1 million first prize for the winner of the Capcom Pro Tour this year. You could be a millionaire by playing video games. So
There are some serious Street Fighter guys out there.
yeah, I
Just like
mean,
Marvel vs. Capcom 2. There's some
like
serious players
you
out
could
there.
do it. You could do it. All right, who am I gonna beat up? Let's beat up one other person. Faraj. Yo. I just love it. You can just literally beat up anybody that you want to. And they're like, okay.
This is cool. This is probably how you level up, though, too. You earn points for that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it looks like you just level up. There's RPG elements. I even saw like when you buy new clothes, they give you new stats and everything too. So there's a lot of customization you can do in this game too, besides what you got going on. You got tips. But okay, so that's a little bit of World Tour mode. I was just really curious to taste this. All right, let's beat up Rachel. Rachel in a suit. I'm sorry, Rachel. I didn't want to, but you know, you got a little Chun-Li vibes on you. No. Throw. Oh, I got beat up. Take this.
Oh, she's giving you a challenge.
I know.
I'm gonna download this tonight. This looks good.
Dude, it's free. Yeah, so the demo is free to test out. So I mean, you guys, it's on PS4 and PS5, so you guys can check it out. So I mean, just to have fun with it, mess around. I think it's just like a little fun way to like play Street Fighter. Oh, poor Milla. Beat up on Milla. She's like, nope. I feel bad.
Oof.
All right, this is it. Again. Imagine doing that to somebody in person in public and being like, okay, everything's all good.
Yeah, right? just walk away.
Walk away. Is she still on the floor? She's like, oh, man. And that's it. She's all happy. Keeps on walking. Just
like, all right, I'm just going to keep going now.
Oh, yeah. This person's like doing, all right. So that's Street Fighter 6 World Tour. Check it out. PS5, PS4. You know, I'm probably going to have some fun playing with this a little bit later on. But, okay. So we'll go ahead and end the stream right now. Joel, thanks again for hopping on.
Thanks for having me.
Check him out. Girl from Retro Lizard Arcades can make your racing dreams come true, as well as gun games too.
Gotta love the light guns, man.
IRs, all that good stuff. Check them out. After this, I think I'm gonna send everybody here that's watching over to Game Time. So let them know that you said hello. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
See you guys.